You're listening to the Health and Happiness Podcast with Travis Kemper and
Lauren Maxwell. Each episode, we share easy to implement strategies to improve your health, happiness, and overall quality of life.
Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Steve Jobs. How's it going, Travis?
Good. I'm getting ready for hunting season. We leave this week on Thursday.
Yay!
Yes, I'm super excited, and I am very much in need of 10 days in the forest.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. I can't wait to hear about it when you get back.
Yeah, that's a lot of hiking and hopefully some shooting.
Yeah.
Like hopefully one shooting.
Yeah.
One time. How's it going, Lauren?
Well, it's going. I've been sick all week, so that hasn't been very fun. I feel like I'm finally starting to turn a corner this weekend after getting like actual decent amount of sleep. But now Nolan might be getting sick, so fingers crossed it doesn't hit him too hard.
Yeah, that tends to happen.
Yeah, live in the same house, sleep in the same bed. It's
Yeah.
kind of hard to avoid. What are we going to talk about today, Travis?
Well, people are quick to give advice, but do they know what you want? Do they even know what they want? Are they happy? Are they living a life that you would define as successful if you had that life? If the answer to any of these questions is no, why the heck would you listen to what they have to say? Lauren, today, let's talk about living a life that you choose rather than living a life that society or other people have chosen for you.
Great topic, Travis. So first things first, I guess, let's talk about some warning signs that you may be living someone else's life. So for one, you feel like you have to drag yourself into your day. When we're following our own dreams, we typically have a lot of energy. We're happy and we can't wait to get going on the next project. But if you're in the middle of a life that's just not for you, chances are you require tanks of coffee to get through or get going most mornings, and you have to drag yourself through the day. You may also feel like you have no power to change things. Even when things aren't going perfectly, we have the power to make changes. If you feel trapped, however, you've probably given up your power to someone else. It doesn't really matter who. Spouses, siblings, parents, and even children can sometimes be all too happy to run our lives for us. It's up to us to put a stop to it. Have no doubt, your power to run your own life is always there. You just have to grasp it.
So if you change your behavior, activities, decisions based on what others think, if you're a so-called people pleaser, like we talked about in episode 73, you have to be extra careful of living your life according to the whims of others. Those of us who despise conflict often will sacrifice our own desires to avoid it, figuring that disappointing ourselves is easier than facing the disappointment of others. Unfortunately, if we make this a habit, pretty soon we're spending less and less time on our own goals. And time is something that we don't have an endless supply of. If you do find that you're really worried about what other people think, just stop. I know this sounds easier than it is, but here's the truth. You can't please everyone. Yesterday, I watched a video on LinkedIn of a girl being afraid to jump off a dresser into her dad's arm. He psychs her up, tells her that she can accomplish anything if she puts her mind to it, and then she jumps into his arms. The first comment on the video is how this man is being a bad parent and teaching his daughter to take unnecessary risks. I use that not to say that that person's crazy. They believe what they believe. I don't care. No matter what, many people will disagree with your actions. Do what is best for you and your family. You might also find that you spend much of your time involved in lives other than your own. Do you find yourself obsessing over whatever your son is doing this week? Does it drive you crazy when your husband forgets his appointment? Do you feel like you have to be your sister's keeper? If your life is slipping away without much progress towards your dreams, Take a look at how much time you're spending on everyone else. Then back it off a bit and trust them to captain their own ships.
Those are great, Travis. So let's start talking about how to create the life that you want. We all have dreams, goals, and aspirations we wish to achieve. The tricky part is connecting the dots between what we want and how to achieve those things. Laying down a step-by-step framework provides a pathway between the two, revealing how to get what you want in life by embracing change. So we have like steps that we've kind of compiled based off of things that we've read to try to help to get you from where you are to where you want to be. So step 1 would be finding your purpose. The process of reinvention often begins with a sense of dissatisfaction. You feel like something is going wrong in your life, but you don't know exactly what would be right. So the first step is to look inward, identifying your true self and the path that will bring you towards your ideal vision for life. So what are some ways that we can figure out what you want or what a happy, successful life looks like to you? Well, some strategies for that would be to think about the bigger picture, to challenge the beliefs that you hold or that you've grown up with to see if they're your own beliefs or if they're somebody else's beliefs that don't really ring true for you. Invest in your self-awareness, set boundaries, and say no to things that you don't want to do. Have fun and experiment, try new things, see what actually feels good and feels fun for you. Spend time with yourself. Think about how you want to be remembered, and remember that it's your life and not someone else's. Step 2 would be to set long-term goals. Long-term goals can relate to your career, like starting a business or changing your profession. You may seek out financial goals like buying a house or paying for your child's education. Perhaps you have personal aspirations in mind like traveling the world or becoming a mentor. Break down those long-term goals into baby steps. You need to know what specific steps to take each day, each week, and each month to achieve your long-term goals. Establish metrics of success. Key performance indicators will help you stay on the right track. And as always, reevaluate your goals regularly and adjust them when you need to.
Step 3, learn the habits of successful people. You might look at an accomplished person and wonder if they have superhuman strengths. But really, many of the world's most successful people stick to consistent habits to make a big impact over time. Studying highly successful people increases your chances of achieving goals by developing specific strategies. Whether it means managing finances wisely, regular exercise, learning how to identify your strengths, staying centered when nothing goes right, or knowing how to get back on track, learn the habits of successful people for actionable ways to live. Step 4, stay focused on what you want in life. If you want to learn how to get what you want in life, you'll need to develop skills to improve your ability to focus on what is important. Some strategies to stay focused include a brain dump. Write down all your thoughts to clear out the mental clutter. Set priorities. Prioritize daily tasks that move you closer to your goals and figure out how to prioritize your life. Say no. Learn to set boundaries and say no to other people's requests. Avoid multitasking. Research proves that multitasking is terrible for focus and productivity, and really it's not a real thing in the first place. You just switch from task to task and you do both terribly. Stay motivated on the way is step 5. Self-motivation requires that you believe in yourself, stay inspired, and push forward despite setbacks. It's easy to be motivated right out of the gate, but if your goals take months or years to accomplish, it's normal to experience lulls in motivation. That's why it's crucial to develop strategies for self-motivation to overcome dips, such as keep things simple. Instead of pursuing too many goals at once, focus your energy on one area at a time. Break down large goals. Creating small actionable steps helps make dreams attainable. And seeing continuous progress is one of the secrets to stay motivated while on the path to your big goals. Surround yourself with supportive people. Staying motivated requires avoiding naysayers and seeking out positive support. Ask for help from mentors or coaches on how to get what you want in life. Step 6, refocus when change happens. When you choose to create the life you want, it means letting go of what no longer serves you. That could be toxic relationships, unfulfilling jobs, unhealthy lifestyles. You have to learn how to build resilience to stay strong during these difficult times. To refocus your life and cultivate mental toughness, practice strategies such as practicing self-care and making sure you get enough sleep, nutrition, and rest. Taking risks and learning to step outside your comfort zone to try new things, like that little girl jumping off the dresser. Learning all that you can through podcasts, books, TED Talks, workshops, anything that will open your mind to new ideas. Work with a coach or mentor to guide you when you lose direction and need to refocus, and don't give up. The push to live a successful life doesn't happen overnight, but you will get there if you continue to focus.
So some other key things to living the life you want would be to seek out relationships with people who accept your authentic self. Challenge yourself to get out of your comfort zone. I think that's one of the hardest things is like it gets really easy to be in your comfort zone and to live a life that's maybe not truly authentic to who you are, where you want it to be. But trying to live a life in alignment requires you to get out of your comfort zone and to grow. Learn to be comfortable with being different. Don't expect everyone to fully embrace what you're doing. Like Travis was saying, you can't please everybody. So just know that like living your best life is not necessarily going to make everybody happy, and that's okay. Be patient with yourself. So like we mentioned in step 2, setting goals is an important part of living the life that you want. But setting goals has also been shown to be related to happiness in general. As if you needed another reason to aim high, ambition makes you happier, according to new research. Studies show that people who set ambitious goals for themselves tend to be more satisfied than those with lower expectations. One study in particular examined how life goals affect people's happiness and well-being throughout adulthood. They worked with 973 participants between the ages of 18 and 92 years old, living in German-speaking parts of Switzerland. Participants were asked to assess the importance and perceived attainability of life goals in 10 areas, which included health, community, personal growth, social relationships, fame, image, wealth, family, responsibility, and care for younger generations, and work. Half of the participants were surveyed again after 2 and 4 years. One of the key findings of the study is that people who perceive their goals as being attainable overall reported higher mental and emotional well-being in the follow-up surveys. Actual attainment of these goals wasn't particularly relevant. It mattered a bit, sure, but how attainable these people felt the goals were had the most powerful effect. The authors take this as an indication that it's the feeling of being in control over one's life, which derives from how attainable they feel their goals are, that generates these positive feelings.
That's really interesting. You don't even have to achieve the goals.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Happier, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So our challenge this week is a little more demanding than other weeks. We want you to assess your life and whether or not you are living the life you want or the life that others or society has pointed you towards. In areas of life where you didn't design your life, write down what you want and create action steps to start working on it immediately to get there. Great job today, Lauren.
You too, Travis. This was fun.
This was fun. Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you next week for another episode. Bye.
Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to listen to this episode of the Health and Happiness Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode and are getting benefits from our content.
If your life is improving in part due to the information in this podcast, we would greatly appreciate you sharing the episode with your family and friends on social media and leaving us a review so we can continue to reach more people and improve the health and happiness of the community at large.
Thanks again, and we will see you next week for another episode of the Health and Happiness Podcast.